Hi, my name is Glenn, and I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you to your first week of the Every Father Needs to Know series. While you'll certainly find some things that could have been done a little bit better, I hope you'll also be drawn to the principles and the ideas that we introduce here. So please, don't let the glitches, numerous as they might be, rob you of the blessings and the benefits that we want you to gain. Taken seriously, I really believe you'll pick up some new understandings that can help you in your efforts to pass along to your children valuable principles about living responsible and significant lives. In order to gain the very most from this experience, let me offer these suggestions. First, take time to watch the intro video that accompanies each of the sessions. It'll provide you with good ideas on which to build discussion. And watching it together at the beginning of the study will also allow you to reset your thinking from where you were and what you were doing before you got here, and it will help you to refocus on the topic for the night. It will put you all on the same page at the same time for some meaningful group discussion. Next, there's at least one major principle which will be the focal point for each week. Take time to summarize that main idea or ideas in simple and memorable ways you'll be able to recall later. Now, you won't remember everything that you read or watch or discuss in this series, but you will want to remember the several most important points from each week so that you'll be able to recall them in the future when opportunities present themselves, to share them with your family. You know, the scriptures point to several ways that ideas are transmitted from one person to another, and then from one generation to another. They're passed along in organized discussions and teaching, such as when people meet together publicly. Church services and Bible study groups are examples of that. Next, they're shared intentionally in the homes, in those set-apart times when moms and dads teach their children through word and through example. And finally, life principles are often learned as parents and children go about the normal rhythms of life. You know, actually, it's at those unexpected moments of life that the best teaching moments tend to come up. Dad, you'll want to be prepared for those times when one or another of the principles that you'll discuss in this series will become practical and relevant in the everyday events of family life. And it's at those moments when life experiences are intersecting with learned principles that the principles can become much more than biblical theory. So it is at those times when you must be ready with words and with examples that can help your children to truly learn. The third thing we want you to keep in mind as you go through each week's material is to notice and even discuss how each principle connects with the others you've already learned. The beauty of sound biblical ideas is that they rarely stand alone. They fit with and work with the others. Watch for those connections as you look at each of the 6 principles. Begin to note how together they're actually stronger than any one is when it's considered alone. You know, many of us struggle with committing scriptures to memory. So while I'm not asking you to engage in some form of mere parroting of Bible verses, actually that's counterproductive. What I am asking you to do is to be able to summarize some of the important scriptures contained in each week's outline. Notice how relevant they are and how common sense they appear when stated in everyday language and then explained. And as you have the chance, begin to teach these scriptures to your children. Use the exact same method. Help them not only to memorize words, but to remember principles. This helps biblical wisdom to become relevant and meaningful to them. We also want you to use these principles in helping to construct useful learning experiments right there in your home. So don't leave your group discussion time without also considering ways in which you can make these ideas come alive in the minds of children at every age and every stage in their journey toward adulthood. Take time to discuss together and help each other explore ways to make the principles come alive. Finally, woven throughout our 6 weeks together will be frequent references to what I call the story of life. Now, you won't see attention called to this story in the notes, but if you're observant, you'll recognize the connection. The story of life is simply the story of God, of man's initial purpose in creation, his lack of trust in God and the consequences which resulted, and then of God's relentless and fatherly pursuit of restoring relationship. That is what great dads do. And as you read and discuss each week, watch for God. Notice where sin creeps into the good things. See how people focused on self can ruin a good thing. Learn of restoration and of love and purpose-filled living. If we want to make the Bible narrative come alive and be real to our children, then we must first make it connect with the lives we are living and the realities we are facing. So notice the connections, remember them, and share those thoughts with your children also. Well, that's certainly enough of an introduction. So on behalf of the men's ministry at Morning Star, I would like to challenge you to take the whole 6-week journey of discovery. Please don't quit, don't take shortcuts, and take the time to learn as much as you can. And also take some time to build relationships with those in your group, those who are sharing this journey with you. Lastly, don't stop with just learning the ideas. Make time to do something with what you are learning. Share some of the thoughts, the scriptures, and even the discussion points with your wife and your children. Make these ideas and principles come alive in your home and in the minds and the actions of your children. Doing so will help to bring about the condition of shalom in their lives and in yours.